Hello, so today we're going to talk about many things. Ideas of ether, energy, natural energy, how this energy kind of works in magic and spirituality and in more practical ways. Ideas of orgone energy, etc., etc. So, I have many videos, but I also have some lectures to show you as well, so I'll interweave them together. First, starting out, we have the idea of the fifth element. Fifth element usually takes on the shape of a circle. The others take on triangles. Now, this element is called things like ether. I think of it as space and electromagnetism. To some extent, all these things are different, but also to some extent they're different forms of each other, you could think. If we think of where the universe came from nothingness. Assumably, at least, because if you ask the question, what if it came from something, then where did that something come from? So we kind of have to have the idea if it came from nothing, assumably, and then it formed into what I would think of as a space. Space from nothing onto space, and also pressure. So these are faculties of the ether, or these are just faculties of pure matter, pure nothingness, or a lack of matter, maybe, depending on how you want to see things. Without matter, without anything, there is a void. There is just space, and without space, there is nothingness, right? And within space, there exist pressures. If you have the idea that a sun is just this vortex of pressure, it's created through a vortex of pressure. Lots of things pulling in, they're all pulling in to this one point, and then this point, it's a tension point, this is pressure, and then eventually it starts to, become a star or something like that. Otherwise, how could it be created? I assume through pressure. So anyway, eventually we have the Earth. So we have this, and then at the box, you have the Earth, you have a human standing on top of the Earth. Okay, I'm happy. And they're standing on the Earth, right? So they're impressing pressure on the Earth. And the Earth, so it's pressure, downward force. The Earth is also keeping them up. It's keeping them up. As in, if there was no Earth, you would just kind of float about, or you would fall, or you would, I don't know really. It's an interesting question. If you were not on a planet, assumingly you still had atmosphere to breathe, what would happen to you? But in this model, the Earth is pushing you up, which is a pressure exchange. You're pushing on it, and it is kind of pushing back on you, or it's not really pushing on you. It's like if you push on a cup, it's more the resistance of the cup and the physical matter. You have to kind of push that resistance, but you can think that it's holding you up in a way. Now the air around you is this open. It's this open air. You've got wind, you've got the sun. These are the spiritual. This is a spiritual quality, and this is the negative physical quality. Positive and negative. Now the etheric spatial pressure elements are more spiritual qualities, while the earth and the water are the negative qualities. Okay? You can think that this earth has positive energy, lots of little positive things. That's kind of doesn't really link up with reality, so it's a bit weird. And then the earth has a bunch of negative, you can think. The way that you think about it is that the positive gives pressure, the negative takes pressure. So it's like a downward thing, like a downward force. The sun, the air, it's all condensing and pressuring the earth. And the earth's absorbing that. So this is kind of how natural energy exchanges work, so to speak. And then because the earth exchanges it, it becomes a base or a foundation that allows you to hold yourself up, so to speak. Anyway, so if we have a physical object, it is sitting in space. It is sitting in this pressure field, right? Which is, you know, it relates to the ether. The ether is kind of behind the scenes, so to speak. It's like space is kind of like a lesser form, like a denser form or lower form of the ether. The ether is kind of like the void which opens and closes. I don't know, some weird kind of cosmic thing. Yeah, it's like behind space, if you can think. But anyway, this physical object is within space, and what happens is that temperature, moisture, humidity, or humidity, I should say, start to affect the object. Pressure, because there's just pressure around you. Like if you walk near a person, you will feel a field of pressure. So this object has a field. So all physical objects, of course, they have their physical body, but they also have a spiritual field around them, which is made up of temperature, air, and also a kind of pressure, like a force. This force, I believe, is like electromagnetically based, and it's what we manipulate a lot with magic and sometimes energy work. The energy work goes deeper into, more things, deeper kind of visceral pressure. So anyway, we have object, field, and the ambient air, and the field is kind of to protect it from the ambient air, or it's an interaction. It's like the object is mixing with the air and it's forming this, so to speak. It's forming this aura. Well, technically, you can think another aura around the aura is that the aura is mixing with the field, or if it's penetrating. That's why if you get sick, it's if you get sick from the outside world, because you can get sick from the inside as well. It's the outside is penetrating that aura field. Anyway, let's look at this in action with an actual object.
Hello and welcome to the electronics special, where we're going to discuss and share ideas on regular electricity as seen here with this DC power generator, and also ideas of natural organic electricity or energy. So anyway, currently I have a generator which produces positive and negative. It's got volts and currents, as you see here, and here is this copper coiled around a pencil, and it's got some tape just to kind of guard it. Anyway, this will produce a electromagnetic field, which is like if you think of electricity running across the wire, like a kind of flow, running across it, or like a string, you can think of a field like a blob. So it's like a line or a blob shape. Anyway, if I hook this up to the power by connecting it, and then I put a nail in here, we'll find that's not powerful enough. So if I up the current to about a 2, let me see if this works now. That's still not powerful enough. I put it up to a 7. Well, still not powerful. 15. Let me see if this works now. I really hope it. Okay. Well, it doesn't work. Anyway, let me get it in there. No. Oh, wait. Here we go. So, as you see, there's a nail. Oops, you don't actually see that. There was a nail in there. Let me up this again. Okay, very powerful. Put the nail in, you see? And it falls right through. Okay, well, that's not so great. But, look at that. Oh, well, it's kind of levitating. So I stuff it up there, and then I turn the power off, and it drops out. Now let me max this out, 30 amps. I think I can get a little bit more, but oh goodness me, this is a weak electromagnet. Excuse this. Anyway, you kind of see the idea. Oh, look at that. So if we push it or dangle it and we turn it off, it drops down. So the power of magnetism. Alright, now there are other things that we can use to induce magnetic fields, which I'll induce them in. Here is a crystal. I have a few crystals here. This one's a fluorite, this one is a sodalite, and I've put copper wire around it. Now we're going to hook it up to the power source, and instantly I feel something in the air. I feel a power. And now I'm going to increase the current, which is kind of like the amount, I think. Yeah, honestly, I'm not like perfectly great on electricity, so, you know, but I can show you something. I'm going to increase the amount, and I feel it more and more. I can feel my head opening up, so it's now around 40. I'm going to max it out around 50, and I really, really feel it. Let me max this out. Oh, 52. It's like a really big expansion effect. Alright, I'm going to lower it now and disconnect it. So what I imagine is happening is that there's some kind of magnetic field which is interacting with the crystal, which is powering the crystal, and then that's essentially creating some kind of magical field, so to speak, around the air or something, like an energy field. That's what it feels like. So I'm going to take this sodalite and quickly put it through the copper and see what it feels like. Alright, I'll hook it up now. And now we shall, 1 second, just, yep, alright, we got current, and I feel it, I'm starting to feel it. It's a lot more yin, it's a lot more relaxed than, oh, it's very relaxing. Oh, I feel very relaxed right now. Yeah, it's about 20. I'm just gonna slowly increase it. Oh, yes, it's like, even the weather is starting to get more relaxed. Or maybe it's because I'm relaxed, I'm noticing it. Yeah, it's I can feel my head, the pressure in my head. The other one like created a lot of pressure in my head. This one's just pulling it down and relaxing it. It's very nice. It's very nice. Alright, time to turn the current down. And as I turn it down, it's almost as if, oh wow, it's like a different state. It's like, alright, so let me actually max it out. Oh wait, yep. Okay, I feel it. I turn the power off. And it's like I go from one state to another, right? So you could hypothetically put these in like a location and control people, to put it in a simple way, a simple kind of almost evil way, but yes, you could. Alright, so I'm going to turn this back on, and yeah, it's almost like I get distracted when I turn it on, because it's that kind of calming and soothing. Anyway, let's now put that around this piece of amethyst, which amethyst is known for being a Martian crystal. It's got a lot of iron in it. Apparently it protects you from getting drunk. That's what I think it was like the Greeks, the Romans would say that. So let's try it out. So that's soda. Oh, look at that little spark. I don't know if you can. Let's try to. Nah, can't see it anymore. Alright. Alright, so I put that on and it's stimulating. I definitely feel it's stimulating. I'm gonna turn it up. Yep, it's not quite. This one was like a sun. This one was very much like the sun, the fluorite. Very, very stimulating. This one's kind of just like a. It's a little bit relaxing, but it's also kind of grounding. I'm gonna really boost it up now. Yeah, I feel just more grounded and more real. Feel it a lot in the throat and kind of the heart. It's getting lower as I turn it up. Maybe more the belly region. Yeah, it's very sobering, very like grounding is what I feel. And now I'll turn it off and yep. Now my energy starts to expand again. It was pulling into my inner kind of belly core region. And it's not quite as noticeable, this one. The sodalite was definitely noticeable. The fluorite was definitely noticeable. This one you can, but it's not quite as the same. So essentially what I'm showing is that through the use of electricities and crystals, see, I can produce the same kind of thing. Like, for example, I will take this crystal and I'll energize it. And I'll create a field with it. I can feel it. And I'll try to enhance it. Try to get it as strong as that 50 amps. I think it's stronger. Yeah, I'm going to compare it. I'm going to see which one. So basically, if you know much about, energy, you just hold something and you just kind of draw the energy into it, and you try to radiate it outward from holding this crystal. Imagine if you're radiating the energy out to a field. That's what I'm doing, FYI. If you want to try to do this at home or whatever. Of course, if you're using electricity, just be careful. I'll do a little electrical test in a minute to see like how much I can handle. Not going too far or anything, but just testing it out, and yeah, I'll see. Just to explain that idea. All right, so we got this here. We got it hooked up, and I'm gonna have it at my intervals are gonna be 10. All right, so it's very nice and relaxing. That's nice. It's just a little bit of a calmness, just a little calmness. I'll turn it off. All right, let me stop, and I'm gonna. Yep. Yep, I can match that. All right. And I'm going to turn it up to 25. 25. Oh, that's getting very nice. I can feel I can feel my back relaxing. All right. All right. 25. Let me turn that off. Back to reality, and I can't quite seem to match it. I think I can get it to around 20 amps. A 20 amp equivalent. Alright. Maybe not. Let me try 15. Turn that off, and try 2 hands. Alright, so I seem to be able to get it to about 17 using a little bit of force. Now I'll try to use as much energy as I can to see how many like equivalent amps of I don't know, spiritual force I can get it to, or electricity. Alright. So that's me using a lot of power, and it feels equivalent to about honestly, I don't know, somewhere around 40, around 50 to 35. I think I can kind of get it to. So of course, if I practice this, I could probably beat the machine. It's like trying to play a robot at chess, I guess. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So anyway, on to the next idea.
So there was this idea on natural energy, which I believe was Wilhelm Reich, called Orgone energy. Now, Orgone in Orgone, I think in Japanese means gold, golden. And this energy was supposedly like a natural bioenergy, which all things, use and take. And I guess you can think it's just energy. We all know about natural energy and all this stuff. Plants love it, humans love it, animals love it. And so this energy, essentially, it was created. Wilhelm Reich figured out how to create energy through using these technologies, through using layers of organic and inorganic material. So this one with the lines is inorganic, and this one is organic. But you have layers of it, and you have like a room with layers of wood and metal, or metal and wool. So some of the organic ones listed was fiber, wool, cotton. I don't know if hemp fiber like that could work. I don't think, and well, I'm not sure if things like nylon would work either, but maybe. There's a lot of electrical activity with inorganic fibers, so potentially. And fibers, wood, I believe. And I forget where the crystals were in the organic or the inorganic section. Yeah, I'm not sure. So this one was metal, and maybe crystals. I'm not sure. Maybe. Now a wizard staff has a crystal, and it's got like wood in it, all that kind of stuff, right? It's got some like wire or something to keep it there. And that's how you make a wizard staff, is that you mix a crystal or like a metal, an inorganic, one of those minerals, a mineral substance, and a plant substance. That's an interesting way to think. And then I'm not sure how animal substances, like if you added horns and bone and skin, how that would interact. But the interaction between animal substances, mineral substances, and herbal substances seem to create some interesting kind of energy. I've done this before, having wooden rods, wooden stakes, and coating them in foil, right? In aluminium foil, and they put them in the ground, and a plant grows nice and big and happy. I don't know. Good enough. So right, you can do this yourself. You could test it out with either metal rods. I would also have metal rods, or metal, circles. I forget what they're called. Metal pipes, and then cover them in bandaging, and then you shove that in the earth, and plants would grow better. Interesting things. So the idea was that this interaction between the inorganic, this stuff, and the organic would create some kind of field. Now, usually the metallic, things of a metallic realm will become cold. Metal becomes cold, unless you leave it out in the sun. But wood and fiber or cloth, better word, wood and cloth don't become cold. If I feel this piece of metal, it's cold. Feel this piece of cotton, it's less cold. It's cold today, so it's cotton's kind of maybe a bit room temperature, below room temperature. So we can see that these things absorb natural energies, yin or negative from the inorganic, and the organic or the plant-based is positive. Potentially animal-based stuff. You got a horn, you got like a bone, is more positive, because at least alchemically plant-based stuff is neutral. So that's something interesting to figure out. But if you want to make cool wizard shit, you just combine the stuff together and you have fun. You do all that. Anyway, here's some more videos.
Here we have a multimeter, which you see is got 0. Now let me just put this like that. Hopefully you can, yep, you can see. Oh, let me get that so you can see a little. There we go. Isn't that, that's nice? I hope that was, the whole video wasn't unclear. I'm gonna hold it and alright, so I'm holding them, positive and negative. See if there's a difference between, okay, and this is on voltage, so I'm producing 0.1 to 0. I'm producing like, oh, negative voltage, what the fuck. Anyway, I'm not producing a whole lot of voltage, I'll put it that way, but it shows you that I am electrical, right? I couldn't power a light bulb, sadly, but yeah, and the air is very mildly, maybe, I don't know, there's probably a better way to do it. I am testing things. Okay, now this piece of metal here, I'm going to put it on the floor and test it, and it's getting a 0. Oh, it's getting like a, every so often it kind of gets something. No, basically a 0. Okay, so it's not really isn't all that electrical. Now I'm gonna show you things that are. Okay, here's the dirt, nice little field, and I'm gonna go shove this right in there. 1, 2, and look at this. Turns out the dirt is more, wait, no, negative. What the hell? So apparently I'm getting a negative reading. That's interesting. Oh, we're getting a 2, a 0.02 or 1. So you get a very small reading from the dirt. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. You get a very, very small reading, but you do get an electrical reading. So if I take it out, you get nothing. Right, now I have this piece of metal in the earth, and I have my meter, and I'm going to connect the positives and negatives to it. You see, right, so you got nothing, connecting them, and then we got a reading. Now is that the same as the earth? So we shoved it in there. Pretty much. It seems to be less actually. So let's check other spots. So different spots, as you see, different spots seem to give different readings. I don't know if that's just an error or if that's a real thing, but they do seem to give. Wow, that one gave a lot. Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Nearly gives half a volt. Shove them there and put it there. So we're getting different readings from different locations. And as we see with this, we're also getting a reading off that. Oh, not anymore. Let me just take this and I'll read it when it's not connected to the earth. So put this down here and just get a reading. Nothing. Oh, something. Nothing. Why? Isn't that interesting? When it's not in the earth, it's not getting a reading. So I'll do that again. So now, because it's on the dirt, maybe it'll give a reading. Yep. Yeah, it's given a reading. Now it's not. I'll connect it to the earth. Shove it in there. Like that. And then I'll do that. And it... absolutely nothing. Alright, well, interesting. Absolutely nothing. If I move it, it gives a reading, but it doesn't give nothing. Doesn't seem to be, wait. I don't know. Look at that. There we go. It's giving something. Interesting. And shove it back in the earth, and we also get another one. Then we take it and clean it. Clean them, put them in the air, and you get nothing. Just a tiny little bit. Alright, well, that's probably enough. Final thing is on arrays, patterns of crystals. So you can see crystals in a circle, and then you got some in a square. You pick whatever pattern you like, whatever works for you. This one, I just thought, I'll try that out. So I'm gonna sit and meditate in the middle of that and activate it, connect with my energy, connect with the crystals. Now these aren't charged crystals, these are just, you got to charge them. Either got to dig them up and they come kind of pre-charged, or you got to put them in the sun or use your own energy. I'm gonna have to charge them, and then we'll see kind of what happens and what I feel, and I'll tell you what I feel. All right, so I'll sit in the middle. I'm a little bit big for this, but whatever. All right. Now I'll start meditating. Fix it up a little. I'll start meditating in the circle, in the middle of the circle. And I'll connect my energy out to the crystals. Already I kind of feel like there's something there, it's just very lightly. And I'll try to enhance it. I'll draw a line, like if you're doing magic, around it, and create the kind of geometry of light within my mind. And now I'll just feel what it's like. Once I've charged it, I'll give it a little more charge actually, just to really make sure I feel something. Alright, now just sit and meditate. I can feel it. It feels like the ground is energetic. There's definitely some kind of aura there. I'm sweating a little bit. I don't know if it's from all the the filming and stuff, but I'm starting to sweat. So I think it might be a bit because of all the energy and the pressure. It is quite relaxing. There's a bunch of noise going on outside, but I'm still kind of relaxed inside here. Yeah, it's very interesting. So anyway, I guess I'll wrap things up. So really the main thing of this video is these are just some ideas on natural energy. I'm going to have to, I'll do a theory edition. I'll do a whiteboard kind of writing up stuff and just to explain everything. But really it feels like this, it feels kind of like these crystals are creators of alternate dimensions or alternate spaces of feeling. It's not like I physically go anywhere, but it's kind of like, it is kind of like you're astrally projecting your state of awareness, or changing the state of awareness to something different. Just feels different, you know. It's like maybe it's how different cities feel different, or different countries feel different. Ultimately they're all just buildings at the end of the day, but they got a different feeling because the people collectively feel something different. And I imagine through the use of frequency technology, you know, like radio towers and such, you could control this, and you could create grids of control of, you know, control the feeling and thoughts and emotions, etc., of people, for better or for worse, really. Personally, I don't think anyone should be controlling other people, but you know, it's kind of how the reality is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and have a nice day.
So I guess we've shown that through electricity you can power things up, and that electricity, I guess, is electromagnetism. It's kind of, it's probably the force, this force element, relating to the fifth element. Perhaps it's like a rarefied force, and through natural objects it can be conducted in different ways. Positive and negative forces, objects will conduct it, and the combination of them, and also that you can use crystals and metals and all kinds of stuff to produce interesting energetic effects and whatever. But anyway, I think this thing is better experimented by yourself. I used to do a lot of experiments with it. I've forgotten a lot, but hopefully if I can start to remember them, I'll share more in videos, because there's lots of interesting things, like when I created a salt out of thin air, well, quote unquote thin air, by using this Orgone layered inorganic technology, and connecting it to water. And hopefully I can show that in another video if I can be bothered. So there's definitely something to it. So you know, research it and give it a look and try to find out your own things. Anyway, if you like this stuff, a lot of the magic stuff I talk about in my magic book, so grab that if you're interested in magic. A lot of the energy work stuff I talk about in the energy work book, and some of the alchemy stuff I talk about in the alchemy book. So if you want any kind of commercial products, services, check the links down below. And if you want social stuff, just give me an email or send a comment. Of course, if you're on BitChute, I don't actually, both on YouTube and BitChute, I don't get notifications all the time. So just I don't know, comment a lot, or email me or something if I don't reply and you want to reply. Anyway, that's all. Goodbye and have a nice day.